The tech giant Apple, as the Competition Commission of India has found that the company abuses its market dominance and engages in unfair business practices that harm numerous app developers and consumers. Now, this investigation, which has been ongoing since 2021, suggests that Apple has violated sections of the Competition Act due to its dominant position in the iOS App Store market. The CCI's 150-page report criticizes Apple's in-app purchase mandate, indicating that it has entered into an anti-competitive agreement with developers, adversely affecting competition. Potential consequences for Apple could include substantial fines and restraining orders similar to actions taken against Google India for similar abuses. Apple maintains that its app system is essential for providing a secure environment for users and developers. The CCI's findings may lead to significant regulatory actions against the tech giant in the near future. Let me go across to my colleague Ashish, who's joining us at this point from our news center. Ashish, this is not good news for Apple. The big question is, to what extent can we really issue a rap on the knuckles on the tech giant?
Well, that's a good question, Ritangshu, because across the world, we've seen tech giants being pulled up for their anti-competitive practices. And this is, again, something that Apple has been accused of. Now, this report that we're talking about, it stems out of an investigation that is being carried out by the Competition Commission of India. Now, this report is not yet public. This is still in the process of investigation. It's been ongoing since 2021, and it's in the final stages. It's, of course, being reviewed by people at the CCI. And once it is finalized, it will be out so that we'll have more details on this. But this is now source-based information that we're getting. And again, the details of this are that Apple has been found. There is evidence that the CCI has found that Apple has been abusing its market dominance. And more so, the concerns are about the in-app payment services. Like, for example, you pay 100 rupees for any purchase on the App Store. Then 30% of it goes to Apple. Now, this is just because Apple hosts that particular app on its Play Store. And the problem here is the fact that Apple does not allow any other alternative App Store or Play Store on its platform. So any purchase that you have to do, any app that you need to have on an Apple device, you need to get it from the App Store. So on one hand, it is blocking every other inlet. On the other hand, it is charging you 30% commission for whatever the single inlet that is available. So again, the developers again end up paying 30% to Apple just because there is an app store that exists. And the problem here is that there is no other in-app payment mechanism. There have been attempts across the world as well to convince Apple to ensure that there are other mechanisms that are put in place. But Apple strictly enforces this policy that any purchase that you do has to go through its in-app purchase mechanism as well. Google also has been accused of the same. In fact, in 2022, CCI did carry out an investigation and fined Apple $113 million for the same offense. Google, of course, has challenged it, but Apple, again, is a much smaller company in India. But again, they also have resorted to similar tactics, something that we've seen across the world as well. And in fact, Ritangshu, I did reach out to a senior executive at Apple because I've been covering this for the past few years, such cases coming up as well. And the reply that I got is that, one, Apple is not really aware of such an investigation. They will only respond once it is made public. And on the other hand, the defense that was coming in from the Apple executive is the fact that such in-app purchases and such mechanisms actually contribute to the safety of the ecosystem, and actually giving it to third-party payment mechanisms will compromise on the safety. So that's the defense that Apple is putting forward. Whether that stands in the court of law is not, that's a second question. But again, this is the entire controversy that we're looking at. And again, looks like there seems to be some sort of a trouble for Apple in India.
Absolutely. And this is something which the tech giant will have to take seriously, because Apple is looking at India as one of the key markets where it can expand exponentially, given its loyal fan base and very fast-growing fan base in India. With that, it's time for a short break. Thanks indeed, Ashish, for joining us with those developments.